James, it means that both husband and wife have beaten James in the Mfantseman constituency.
If she had conducted herself so well, excuse my language, as a widow, maybe a chance would present itself, not going into this election, but some other years to come. Because in our customs, it even disallows widows, to go around showcasing their political, talent for the people to vote into power. Our customs, our traditions, all of this above a widow trying to secure, political power at the expense of maybe the husband who has lost his life.
Eric is the communications officer of the NDC for Mfantseman. He's so convinced the MPP's candidate, Evans Mensah, is barred by customs to contest. For him, the MPP's candidate should not have even accepted to contest, but should be somewhere mourning her late husband. But Abekwe Sylvie, personal assistant to the late MP and the communications officer of the MPP in the constituency, says nothing bars Madam Ophelia Hayford from contesting. In fact, traditional authorities in the area see nothing wrong with the move.
So what we have done is that we have consulted with the various traditional councils and asked if indeed it is befitting for the woman to step into the shoes of the late husband. And they have all given us thumbs up. They believe that she has what it takes to take over. For the bereavement and the mourning, it is supposed to be so. But what is most important as well is that the job must be done. And if it must be done, it must be done well. And if it is going to be done well, then it has to be done by Mrs. Ophelia Hayford.
The NDC again have their doubts about the capabilities of Madam Ophelia Hayford to handle the constituency as an MP.
It does not actually warrant that in this she understands the political dynamics. She was into police service. Police service is quite different from political dynamics. When you find yourself in a political space, it is quite different ball game. It takes people with courage, people who better appreciate and understand political dynamics, just to bring to the fore the development that the people that in need. It does not matter whether you are IGP or whatever. You can be an IGP and fail as MP because you don't appreciate and understand the political dynamics of the area.
But the MPP's Abekwe Sylvie thinks otherwise.
At a point in time in the life of Honorable Hayford, he gets tired, he gets worn out and wants to take a rest or bow out. But it is this woman who encourages you to keep on and keep on and keep on. Therefore, if the baton has been handed over to her, I tell you, my brother, she has laid up her boots and she is ready and more than ready. I know her and I know her very well that she is capable and able to the task, and that she is going to ensure that the new patriotic party in Mfantseman, for the first time in the history of the fourth Republican Constitution, is going to retain the seat for the new patriotic party in Mfantseman.
The NDC since 1992 has won the Mfantseman seat 5 times: 1992, 1996, and 2000. In 2004, Stephen Asamoah Boateng, popularly known as Asabi, halted the strength of victories of the NDC and won the seat for the MPP, but was unsuccessful in defending it in 2008. The NDC, led by Akwana Stewie Akwansa, held the seat from 2008 to 2015 until the late Kwansa Hayford won against the NDC's candidate, James Son, who happens to be the NDC's candidate for 2020. On the streets of the Mfantseman constituency, many are making strong claims for their candidate.
You have to say no way. Or you are a strong woman now.
We have consoled her. She's a strong woman who wouldn't want the memories of the husband to be lost. She only wants to keep the memories of the husband. Now the MPP's candidate It was her husband that was involved in an accident. The question we want to ask is, does the NPP not have anybody apart from the wife of the deceased? We don't know this woman from anywhere.
People say salaye busia wan chamfa. Oba na le yanyem ne be ala. Atudu atechamo. Nuku na edwuma ole ye bia na enwe deti. Cars na nuku no wa to na oda mankofo work campaign.
She keenly followed whatever the husband was doing. She knows all the people who benefited from the vehicles the husband bought for the youth on work and pay basis. She knows all of them. She's very courageous and strong. When she comes, she will help mobilize the women. She will give asylum. She will take care of the needy and the sick as the husband was doing if she is given the opportunity. We don't know Ophelia from anywhere. It was her husband that stood and won, and death claimed him. This seat is not for any family. Are we going to look on for the president to make wives whose husbands pass on replace them? It has happened before. If care is not taken, should the president die, the wife would be made to replace him. If you continue to do this, things might not augur well for us.
The warrior family and friends. In your damusuno or Quadua Ghana. Why you did that? Necessity as a yes, Mfantseman, the man no Quadra. That's your baby.
So it's unfortunate the husband is no more there. She was a pillar to Honorable Ekokwansa Hayford. But then Honorable Ekokwansa Hayford is no more there. But the wife knows a lot of the projects that the husband undertook, the desire of the husband. So we thank the Almighty God and the entire executive for bringing her, because for me she will be a perfect replacement for them.
I say so I am this man.
Why won't I vote for his son, who is an NDC? I quite remember that he supported one of our people to go to Mecca for the Hajj. If the person who was just a candidate could do this for us, why won't I vote for him?
I said, the one in prayer to Abraham, will be more for Hajj.
So, will it be the MPP's Evans Mensah who is vowed to be the NDC's candidate for, as they say, to keep the memories of the late husband who died under tragic circumstances, or the NDC's candidate, James Eson, the one supporters of the NDC call homeboy, will just shrug off the competition from Ophelia by extending the dominance of the NDC in the constituency. The battleground has just been prepared, and the candidates and their supporters are advancing towards the battleground.
Ekwa was a rabbit leading a battalion of lions. So if the rabbit is killed, the lions are there. You must pass kwa kwansa aye giant e wetire no. E de beton ama ne yer abe nya sit no asan de amaye. Inshallah.
So the antecedent has always been that it is for NDC. Anytime that there's a unity between the NDC, the MPP takes advantage. So this time round, we are more than united, and there's nothing. In fact, the indications are clear on the word that the seat has been already won by our homeboy, Honorable James Odifu Esen, and nothing can change that.
Guess who wins the battle? Richard Virginia Akon for joining us.
And that's a story from that battleground constituency of Mfantseman. And guess what? Let's return to that particular constituency. And we've just been joined on the telephone line right now by James Eson of the NDC. He was the parliamentary candidate for the party in the 2016 elections. He lost that to Echo Hayford. Of course, as we know right now, another Hayford is on the ballot. This time, the wife of Mr. Echo Hayford. But the thing about it is he lost with a margin of 726 votes, and that was pretty close. But he himself must admit this is a whole different kettle of fish coming up against a widow. Mr. Son, thank you for your time here on the battleground.
Well, thank you, my brother.
First of all, tell me, how's the campaign going? A campaign that, as you probably will concede, is not as it used to when Mr. Eko Hayford was alive. May his soul rest in perfect peace. A lot must have changed. A lot must have changed for you.
Oh yes, so my brother, that one is true. Because when we finished with our primaries, we were praying that we'll be able to get the late Honorable Mfantseman Hayford, because for him, we knew that we were going to beat him hands down. For Mfantseman, it's a seat for NDC, and I promise all and sundry that we are going to win our seat back.
You promised, but
yes.
then a lot has changed since then. How has the changes that we've seen with the death of Mr. Eko Hayford, with the wife going to be on the ballot, change your perspective and what you expected to happen on December 7th? Has it changed at all? No,
nothing has changed. Nothing has changed.
Absolutely. You haven't even changed your campaign strategy.
Well, we have our campaign strategy firmly on the ground. I am a grassroots person, and the grassroots, they know me, and they are going to vote for me. As somebody who is from Mfantseman, I've stayed in this constituency throughout my life. I was born and raised in this constituency, and the constituency is not ready to hand over this particular seat to anybody who is not coming from the constituency.
Are you suggesting that Madam Hayford is not from the constituency?
Oh, I'm not the one saying it. I was born in Anmabo. I was raised there. I had my basic education. I had my secondary education in the constituency. I know the challenges that my people are facing. I can mention the communities and each community and the difficulties that they are facing. And but the people are going to vote based on that.
Okay. Now, but here's a challenge. Considering the fact that she is, of course, the widow of the late Mr. Hayford, that poses a challenge for you, correct?
Evans, it depends on how you are going to handle it. I started politics in 1996. I've been in Mfantseman politics since 1996. I know how the dynamics are, and I know how I'm going to play it.
How are you going to campaign against the widow?
When I get to the ground.
Sorry?
When I get to the ground.
When you get
I'm somebody who doesn't do politics or campaign on radio. I'm a grassroots person, as I've stated earlier on. The people down there know exactly what I've done for them. And what happened in 2016, what they are saying is that they are not going to repeat that mistake.
So tell me, what is your message then? What is your message? Because I'm sure you're running a campaign based on issues.
Yes.
What is your message?
You must, when you come to Mfantseman is predominantly youth. The voting population is predominantly youth. And I'm going to put a priority on youth development. At the moment, our youth, there is a disappointment or let me say frustration among the youth as a result of a high unemployment rate among the youth in Mfantseman. So more or less, my campaign is centered on youth development.
Okay, so you're hoping that the young people will vote for you?
Yes.
Okay, but they didn't vote for you.
Based on my message.
They didn't vote for you in 2016. Why would they do it now? What has changed?
Yes, you are aware of what we went through as a party in 2016. And I'll be very happy if you can take the 2016 results and do proper analysis of it. You will see that I am a very strong candidate. The result that came in 2016, you will see that I didn't have more votes than the party. So this should tell you that the candidate is very strong.
Yeah, but except Mr. Eson, that let's put that in context. This is a seat that had been held for the last two elections by the NDC, and then you lost it. I mean, so if you put that in that contest, it's actually a terrible. It's not achievement at all.
Yes, Evans, you are aware of the kind of message that my brothers in NPP propagated in 2016. And the terrain in 2016 is not the same as the terrain in 2020. So we are having a different ball game altogether. The promises they gave to the fishermen, look at what is happening at the coastal belt. The promises they gave to the farmers, the things are turning into a different ball game altogether. So I'm hoping that my people will look at the services I've rendered to them in Mfantseman constituency, and they are going to reward me accordingly.
The services you have rendered?
Yes.
I mean, but you are an opposition candidate.
Yes.
What really have you done? And
I'm very happy. Sometimes I don't like blowing my own. I don't like to blow my own trumpet or whatever.
I'm surprised you say that. I mean, you're a politician seeking to win an election. You don't want to blow your own.
See, Evans, I am somebody who doesn't like doing that. When you come down to Mfantseman, they will tell you, but if it's not like that. I've done a lot for Mfantseman. Even just recently, I had to go and rent data. And I was able to reshape most of the roads in Mfantseman. When you go there, they will tell you, I've done a lot for my hometown people. I've put up washrooms for my people in Anomabu and other villages. What I've done there as an opposition candidate, even as when you get to Mfantseman, it was surprising.
Now, okay, so you are the opposition candidate. You believe you've done a lot, but if the opposition candidate believes he's done a lot, what would you say about the incumbent party's candidate? They have all the resources, and from what our reporter tells us, that they pumped a lot into this particular constituency since the NPP came to power.
When you compare what my former MP did from 2012 to 2016, it's more or less what we are experiencing. The development that we are experiencing now cannot be compared to the development we had from 2012 to 2016. When you come to 2020, you yourself will bear witness to it.
It cannot be compared.
It cannot be compared.
You say it can't be compared, and yet in your primaries in 2016, you won, right? I mean, and then you went into an election on the back of what you say was a significant improvement in the lives by your predecessor, and still lost the elections. That clearly must tell you something.
Yes, Evans. With the Mfantseman NDC, you can check the record. We lost the seat in 2004. And we lost it in 2016. Anytime Mfantseman NDC is united and we go into elections, it doesn't favor us. And as we speak, we are 100% united, and we are going to reclaim our seats. That one is a promise to all.
Do you at least concede that sympathy votes will play heavily against you?
And not in Mfantseman. It played in other constituencies, not in Mfantseman.
Why not in Mfantseman?
See, Evans, in Mfantseman, the people here are different from the people in Ayawaso West Wogon. Ayawaso West Wogon, they are from different backgrounds and they've come to settle there. Mfantseman is a traditional seat. It's not like Ayawaso West Wogon.
But by the way, the Ayawaso West Wogon case isn't a live one yet. What I mean is the candidate who replaced the dead husband is yet to go in to the 2016 elections, 2020 elections. So we don't know yet. I mean, we don't know how it's going to pan out. However, the NDC has a more appropriate example that you could look at to tell you the sort of challenge you're going to face. In Shai Osudoku, I mean, David Tetasumin led it, but then we know what happened in 2016 when Linda Akwele Oklu succeeded the husband as a candidate who passed on after an accident. You know what happened in the end? She won, and she won significantly. She won with a bigger margin of votes than the very popular more capable, some may argue, politician David Assuming in the previous election. That is what you are up against when it comes to sympathy votes in Mfantseman.
We don't see it that way. You are referring to Charles Sudoku. It's a safe seat for NDC. You get me?
I mean, but I must admit to you that Mfantseman, with the exception of 2004, has been a safe seat for you too.
Yes.
Until you also came in and didn't continue the tradition.
Yes, and I'm saying that because it is a safe seat for NDC, the sympathy vote that you are talking about will not work here. Unlike what happened in Sudoku and I also let's move on.
Okay. Well, so you believe you're going to win. We see how this pans out in the elections on December 7.
Yes. We have something that we say, aguniform.
Sorry, you have to say that again. Say that again.
Aguniform.
Agro-NFM.
Yes.
Okay. As they say, literal translation, the play is the ground.
Yes.
Thank you very much. That's Mr. Sundays of the NDC, is a candidate there going up against the widow, of course, Mr. Hayford's wife. There's a lot to analyze for you tonight because this is pretty exciting in that constituency. We'll tell you the record of widows when they stand and replace their husbands, what happens. We're going to look closely at the numbers because the numbers tell you a story there beginning to emerge and what possibly Mr. Esson may be coming up against in his own constituency. This is the battleground. In the battleground tonight, if you're just joining us, we are in that battleground constituency of Mfantseman. That's a place with a tragic story going into the December 7 elections, the murder of the incumbent member of parliament, and guess what happened after that? The wife is taking over there as the candidacy and has been campaigning. We have secured some of the campaign videos of her campaigning. We were telling you, what is she riding on? Has she got a message? It will fascinate you to learn what we've learned also in that constituency, and we'll analyze and tell you whether her strategy will work. Has it worked before? Stay with me. I want to bring in now Abeku Esilfi, is the MPP Communications Officer for Mfantseman, and guess what? He used to work he was a personal assistant to the late Member of Parliament. Guess what? His allegiance is he's staying true to the family because he's now moved to working very closely now with Mrs. Hayford and joins us on the telephone line right now. Mr. Sifi, thank you for time here on the battleground.
Thank you, Evans. Thank you, Evans, for having me.
So tell me, I mean, and let's be honest here. What is Madam Hayford's message? I mean, she was thrust into this she knew nothing about politics from what we understand, apart from the fact that her husband was a parliamentarian. She was a police officer. So how is she campaigning and what has been her message really?
Thank you very much, Evans, and good evening to your cherished listeners. We have a very tragic incident on our hands at Mfantseman, referring to the untimely death of an honorable member of parliament, Honorable Ekokwanse Hayford. In less than a week after the tragic incident, the party hierarchy, from the president, the speaker of parliament, the national chairman, the general secretary, and then the regional executives all came down to express their condolences to the family. And lo and behold, Evans, the common cry of the indigents of Mfantseman was very simple, clear, and very equivocal. They said, no wifey, no vote. Why do you think they are making that profound statement? It had to do with they having to realize the integral role that the woman has been playing behind the scenes to have pushed the man to have chalked those great successes. And they think that if, for the good work that the husband has done, if there has to be anybody as a perfect replacement for the husband, it has to be the wife.
Okay, so let me ask you a direct question here.
Yeah.
This is all about riding on this sympathy.
Not necessarily the sympathy.
But what?
It's got to do with the good works of the late husband. My brother.
Yeah, and you're saying that if that is what it is, no other person could have done the same in terms of riding on the back of the good works, because it's the party, really. It's the party that did it. It's in the name of the party. Anybody else could have done that other than the wife. But you chose a wife because there is sympathy to be exploited or leveraged.
It's gotten two sides of the coin, if you ask me, because indeed the people on the ground will surely and obviously sympathize with the situation. Fine. As a political party, we have to put our best foot front, make sure that we win as a party. That is the objective. So if we know that we have that quality, confidence, and trust of the people in the woman, and she is going to be able to win the seat for the party, why not?
Okay. Well, I'm grateful that you joined us. That is Mrs. Sylvie there, who used to be the personal assistant to the husband, Mr. Hayford, who died tragically. Now changed his allegiance now, of course, switched it, same family. Madam Hayford is, of course, a candidate, and he's paying his due to her as well. Okay, so let's get into the analysis now. You can join us, by the way, 055-11-11997. I want to hear from you tonight about this. You've heard a lot about widows stepping in, replacing their dead husbands as parliamentary candidates, right? This is the third case in the last, few elections that we are beginning to see, that people say it's a trend developing. Well, so Mfantseman is in focus tonight because there we've seen one play out recently. What do you make of that? And what do you assess the chances of the MPP is? But I want to put all this in context for you. If you're just joining us and wondering, where is Mfantseman and what does it look like? Well, let me bring in my colleagues who are just joining me. Winston is joining me via Zoom, my colleague on the political desk. Hello, Winston. Also joining me.
Hi, Evans.
Yeah, great, Winston. Great to hear you. You have to do something about this, your data, Winston. Winston is joining me, and I hope his data can hold that because I want to hear his thoughts on this. Also joining me, of course, is the man who spent days in the constituency, understands it inside out. He's the man we're relying on to give us a vibe of what is going to happen on December 7. Kojo Nyako. Hello, Kojo.
Hi, Evan.
Great to have you, Kojo. You've spent a lot of time there. You've actually interviewed the woman. And so I want you to give me a sense of what vibe you're getting from her in terms of her political astuteness very shortly. But let me bring in producer of the show, who's also, of course, with me also on the political desk, Joseph Blake. Blake, so what do we know about Mfantseman? What is it?
And so in terms of what we know about the constituency, per the 2010 population and housing census, it puts its numbers at about 144,332, which constitutes about 6.6% of the population of the central region, but is currently higher because of population growth as we expect. About 66.1% of the population aged 15 years and older are economically active, with 33.9% not being economically active. Agriculture takes about 29.6% of households in the municipality.
Yeah, I mean, there's a point that you made that need to be emphasized, because I just spoke to the NDC candidate, and he makes a point that unemployment is key.
Yeah.
Right? And as we see in the numbers, the demographics and the economic activity there, I mean, 33.9% economically not active.
Yeah.
Although they should be. I mean, so whoever can play to that and promise them...
No wonder he made a point that he's focusing on youth development.
Absolutely. But the key question then that sort of also for the MPP is, they've been there for what? The last 3 years. I mean, in an area that is largely MPP. Largely NDC. We need to find out from Kojo shortly what has the party done in the last four years to give these people jobs, for example, and create an opportunity for them to sort of grow out of the unemployment situation. That will play a significant part in who wins.
Yes. In terms of literacy and education, of the total population 11 years and above, literate are 77.4% and 22.6% are non-literate. A number of non-literate
females.
Figure,
very literate.
Yes, because I mean, you know the area very well, the Mfantseman area, where you have lots of senior high schools being set up right from the early days, and so quite a literate society they have in there. It also tells you that the issues that they will be concerned about may well be very different from the other areas. They will be listening to the issues and the policies that they will be putting out there. In terms of information and communication, of the population 12 years and above, 45.9% have mobile phones. Men who own mobile phones constitute 49.8% as compared to 43.1% of females. So that is brief in terms of the data we've gathered regarding the constituency. In terms of electoral performances, as you stated, the NDC has won a seat 4 times.
So 1992, 96, 2000, and that is what makes it interesting. I find that 2000 scenario in terms of the electoral outcomes there in Mfantseman, I guess the most important, because in 2000 there was a tsunami that swept an MPP tsunami that swept across the country. However, Mfantseman remained solidly still behind the NDC. It didn't swing at all.
Yeah.
Then something interesting happens in the next election year,
2004,
which really was the incumbent continuing and this continuity, and yet they somehow decides to then give it to the MPP.
Yes, for the first time. I mean, and it was quite baffling. Mr. Samabati shows up and wins the seat.
I didn't win it by a small margin too.
Yeah.
I mean, like at what?
5,278.
Difference.
In fact, 7,000. That's for the presidential. In terms of the parliamentary, 7,529.
Yeah, I mean that is very curious to me. It probably go to tell us the strength of Mr. Sabi, right? But even that, it's mitigated a bit because in the next election, 2008, he then loses. He just held it once.
Yeah, and this time around, surprisingly, he loses by a margin of 3,176.
Yeah, they don't play in Mfantseman, you know. I mean, they don't play.
From a majority gap of 7,000, and he drops and goes into the negative of the figure around that range is 3,000, and so it tells you that clearly they changed their minds after 4 years of seeing him.
And then they went back to their first love,
the NDC.
The NDC, and NDC holds it for 2 elections, and then pops up Mr. Hayford, who unfortunately has been murdered. Wins it, but wins it limping to the finish line.
726.
That is so small.
In fact, the other constituencies that we've looked at, we've always made a point that when it's less than 5,000, it's a keen race.
Yeah, I mean,
it's less than 1,000.
This is less. So that tells you this can swing back to the NDC very easily. But it also goes to tell you the strength of Mr. Hayford, I think, really.
Yeah.
Because you cannot underestimate what he's done there, and possibly plays into the logic of why the party says, let a wife go again. I've heard the president say when he visited there that he was considering, he was one of those people first in line to be called into his government if he had won again, right? That is so to say, we appreciate what he's done for us. But that is an interesting dynamic there. 700, just over 700 difference. That is very. Let me bring in Winsing and Kojo. Winsing, I mean, what do you say to Mfantseman and the political dynamics there going into an election with a widow on the ticket for the MPP?
Yes, Evans, if my line is very clear, let me just go to 2004, because you make reference to 2004. And the thing about 2004 is that when Stephen Asamoah-Boateng came in with Jojo Busquanza, he was able to win. But then in 2008, when Stephen Asamoah-Boateng lost that election, a few reasons were given, and if you should speak to, Aquinas Terry Akwansa, one of the things he's going to tell you is that he realized that there were a lot of people who were brought into the constituency to register. Now, this analysis is based on what? Because of Stephen Asamoah-Boateng's Asante background, he realized that there were people who were registered in the constituency who didn't live there. But what he did was actually to say that, okay, once you get down, they ask you a simple question: what is your house number? Many of these persons didn't know their house number. And so they took the electoral commission, we would not allow them to vote. But of course, you can also make the argument in 2008, like the tsunami you talked about in 2000, it was sweeping and the NPP was losing seats, and so that might have affected it. But in two areas, go to the polls, and Aquinas beats Asamoah Boateng again. In 2016, when Asamoah Boateng decided not to contest the elections, Aquinas says, if Asamoah Boateng is not going to see Evans, is the fact that, look, Aquinas Kwanzaa coming into the race, maybe Stephen Asamoah Boateng would have continued as a member of parliament for the Mfantseman constituency. One of the things he did was that his strategy worked to perfection. He made sure that wherever Stephen Asamoah Boateng went in that election, he followed him up, and thus it worked for him. Now, let's get to the current situation, Evans. Look, as a people, we're very emotional. Okay. Now, in 2012, lots of people had done the analysis that the then President John Evans Atta-Mills was going to lose the 2012 elections. In fact, the MP was very confident he was going to win the elections. Because in the build-up to the elections, we didn't really see much of Professor Mills. Then, sadly, he passes on. That actually galvanized, energized the NDC, and the NDC picked everything up and ensured that they were able to win the elections. In fact, in Kumasi for the acclamation of John Dramani Mahama, one of the things you realized was that the NDC actually used the voice of Professor Mills consistently in that campaign, reminding people of the fact that, look, this is a man whom we all love. You know how we love dead people? The hypocritical...
Oh, yeah, that's so true.
When people die, all of us... Come again?
No, I just agree with you on the part about we
Hello,
loving
Evans?
the dead.
Yes, so when that happens, everybody all of a sudden begins to show love, and we're loving that person. So who was contesting as Deputy General, his message was, if you love Professor Mills, vote for me. And in Kumasi at the time, you might have seen, Professor Mills's, this whole banner of him, even though I am gone, I am still with you. My message is very simple. Look, James, a son who lost in 2016 to Eko Kwanzaa Hayford, in 2020, all the things he could have said against Eko Kwanzaa Hayford, now, if he should say those same things against his wife, people would accuse him of not being compassionate. Because they tell you, look, this is a woman who's lost her husband. She's coming. At least show her some compassion. Of course, we can make the argument that, well, if you've lost your husband so soon, why would you want to represent him? It may not be her fault. It's the political party that is saying, well, based on what we have seen, it happened in Shai Osudoku when Mr. Oku lost his life, his wife took over. We've seen it in Ayawaso West Wogan constituency when Chemante Jako died. Lydia Al-Hassan took over. And now we're seeing it in the Mfantseman constituency. Based on the difference in 2016, I certainly would have said, look, because of the woman who's coming now, and because of the attention that the constituency is going to have, now the party all of a sudden would want to do everything possible to ensure that it maintains.
Yeah, it maintains the seats in there. I mean, let's try and get that line fixed. But that point you're making there about the sympathy vote, the sympathy factor is key. I mean, Kojo, you've spent quite a bit of time there, way from the time that Mr. Hayford passed. Now we've seen her campaigning. You've had the privilege of interviewing Madam Hayford and talking to people and feeling the vibe. Are people responding to this sympathy question and the factor?
Well,
is it resonating with people?
The Member of Parliament passed, there was a groundswell of people shouting that they needed the intervention of Mrs. Hayford to contest. Once the husband has been killed, then, it is better placed that the wife who knows everything, all the developmental projects that the husband has been championing would just fill the void. Now you cannot really read the minds of the people here, having been in the constituency for the past 1 week. You cannot really get into the minds of the people very well. At a point, you get a people say that, well, Kwanzaa Hayford was a good man. He decided to pursue A, B, C, D, even on the road that he was even killed. He was even, there are contractors currently on who are working. there is a drainage currently being constructed, and that has been the bane of the people of Mfantseman. The Kwakwansa Hayford was championing it to ensure that the perennial flooding was solved. There are astroturfs and other things that he was pursuing, buying taxis for the young people in the municipality. To enable them to get jobs and be added. But now, you also get a section of the people that are also playing the cultural or the custom card that, well, your husband just died, your husband is still in the cold, in the morgue, so why don't you mourn your husband? And for God's sake, what are you doing on the campaign trail? Are you the only person who can fill that kind of space? So, it's a mixture. You cannot really read the minds of these people here. If you talk about the Mfantseman constituency, you start from Yamransa, there are places like Saltpond, very key traditional places. And so it's really a difficulty saying that, well, the wife is going to retain the seat in memory of the husband, or James's son, who contested with the husband, is going to take back the seat for the end.
Yeah, okay. So generally, what vibe do you get if you talk to people? Is this factor resonating?
Yes, exactly. So all these factors are at play here in the constituency. Some say that, well, let the wife go because considering the tragic circumstances, the husband died, and people are saying that, well, why should we give the seat to the wife? She has no quality. She was just a policewoman, and she didn't even come to the constituency often and all of that. So it's divided. It's a cocktail of emotions that are swinging in this particular.
And also, give me a sense of this. We don't know too much about her, but you interviewed her. What kind of person is she? What vibe did you get?
Well, she's someone who is courageous, bold. I get a sense from the little interaction I've had. She's very articulate. She's had a legal education. She holds an LLB and trying to get to the professional course and other things. And they say that she's been a strong pillar behind this man who just passed. And so that is what people that are close to him know, and that is per my little interaction and my closeness to her, I can also find.
Okay, and so we've been getting a lot of messages from you on this very interesting constituency, this battleground constituency of Mfantseman. Made already very interesting, but made even more so because of the tragic occurrences in the last few weeks. Let's hear a bit of what you've been telling us, Joseph.
And so the first message here, Lamin Adinan says, Mfantseman is an NDC seat by history, and surely it will go back to the NDC. The woman is not a grassroots person, but the effort is not on the grounds, he adds. Joseph de Graft here says, we won't vote for someone who does not know anything about Mfantseman. The seat is not a family and friends seat. And Nana Piasechi, he chooses to say that President Mahama will win the 2020 presidential elections. Mfantseman from Adadzoaba says, Mfantseman wants someone who is competent. His son can't even win assembly election, even in his hometown, Anomabo. And but that point, part of the, I wonder why the NDC kept him, right? Because, and I made a point to him when I was speaking to him. He says, well, it was close. Yes, it was close, but if you put in a bigger context that this is not a safe seat, but an NDC have a significant upper hand there. You had NDC holding it for 2008, 2012, and then you come in and lose out, but the party still believes that he's still the man to do it. It raises questions. Yes, and I guess, like he puts it, it's more of the figures. Because looking at the figures, you realize that for imagine less than 1,000 is someone who may even allege some irregularities may have taken place. He's someone who simply say that, look, one or two things may have gone wrong. He's someone who has a strong reason to be given a second chance because it was a close fight. But
a close fight in a place where you should win.
It's a defeat. But unfortunately for the party, if they've taken that gamble, the difference this time around is the sympathy votes, and we can't look at it.
Come into play.
I mean, we can't disregard it completely.
Yeah, what more are people saying to us?
Pab here writes that listen to what a son is saying. You are here lying. You come from Anomabo. Be truthful and bold to tell the host you come from the village in Cape Coast called Kotochi. Okay, I hope I got that one right. But another message here says NPP is winning the Mfantseman seat come December 7. The battle is still the Lord's. It's coming from Abigail Finn. And the last one here from Mama D says, very funny how a son thinks he can become an MP. And she adds the laughing emoji.
Okay, so Joseph, this is one of the things I've been trying to appreciate, right? This thing about the sympathy and the wives, the widows taking over from their dead husbands. Let's look at our recent history and what that tells us about it. We know about Linda Akweloklu, okay, who took over from the husband in Charles Sudoku. And then we also know about the Ayawaso West Wagon case in Lydia Serama Hassan. And then we're hearing about Madam Hayford. Now, they are out of the three. The one that I guess it's more ripe for analysis is Madam Oklu, because she went all the way to contest in the national elections and won. So if you look closely, it might tell you a story. So let's go back to understand what I'm trying to say. Let's go back to 2012. In 2012 in Shao Sudoku, David Tetiasumin, a formidable force in the NDC, was the parliamentary candidate there. He stood against Daniel Christian Dugan of the MPP and won that seat by 18,089 votes in the place. And of course, in the primary, he's then replaced by Mr. Oklu, who unfortunately died in a motor accident on the spot. Then a wife is made to replace him by the NDC. Now, she stands in the national election, wins the seat, and does better in the actual tally of votes than Mr. Tetosumin, who is a political stalwart in the party. Like he's a true politician, understands the game. Linda, of course, came onto the scene, no political record of that we know of publicly, but wins it, but didn't just win it, won it by 2,000 more votes than Mr. Sumin got. Now, my question is, and that comes back to the point of sympathy, you cannot discount the fact that for a political novice to do better, I mean, one election to the next, than the guy who is politically astute and has done this for ages, that factor of sympathy cannot be discounted in her victory, and not only victory, her performance. She won it, but she didn't just win it. She won it by increasing the party's votes there. Evans, that is important, and that is why I guess it will be interesting. If you look at
Sayo Sudoku, and if we add Ayawaso West Wagon, they have something in common. You see that these are seats that the party that it happened in, they tend to win the seats more often than not. So if you pick Ayawaso West Wagon, the NPP tends to win the seats more often than not. The same thing with the Sayo Sudoku seat.
True.
And so, to be fair, they actually started the race having the upper hand.
Yeah, I get it. But that's what I'm looking at, the margin. I'm looking at the margin.
The margin was significant, but they started a race with the upper hand.
I get it. It was not in doubt they will win.
Yes.
Right? For me, that's the thing. But I'm looking at, okay, she won, and she won with a bigger margin than the other NDC guy who was more experienced.
Exactly.
And I'm saying that the factor that may have made a difference in the margin
will be the sympathy
vote. And that is why I'm saying, if you look at it, if you do that and sort of rub it off Mfantseman, that will certainly play a role.
The difference with Mfantseman will be that, unlike Sayo Sudoku, where you say that the NDC was likely to win, in which case the sympathy votes wrapped off them and they ended up performing better than the previous candidate. In Mfantseman, you can't say that it's not that clear cut. It's not the case. So the NPP candidate does not have the upper hand in the same regard. Same with Ayawaso West Ogun, which, even if we use that as an example, we'll talk about the fact that the NDC actually pulled out of the election, the by-election at some point. And
I mean,
that also changes the dynamics completely.
Again, let's throw in John Mahama, right? John Mahama's story, it's also very similar.
July 2012.
Exactly. July 2012. Professor Mills dies with 4 months to an election. He jumps in the race and still wins it. I mean, that clearly is an issue. I mean, Kojo, what do you say about that? And in terms of the reaction that, of course, you've told about it, the reaction on the ground, etc. If you consider all that the analysis show, we just spoke to Mr. Son, right, who says that he's done a lot on the ground to help with the unemployment situation. Is this true? I mean, he says he's focusing on the youth. I mean, we've done the demographics. It's true. The youthful population is quite significant and they're huge. But on the ground, how much work has he done there to appeal to that particular core constituency?
Well, so what a lot of people I have spoken to about Mr. Jameson point to is that in 2016, when his government was in power, he helped a lot of the people. You listen to the feature we put together, and one was saying that he helped one of their own to get to Hajj. The person perhaps might be a Muslim, and other things that because his government was in power, they were able to do for the people. But now you cannot actually point exactly to what he is doing because obviously his government is not in power, and so he might not be doing a lot. But they point to when he was a candidate and was not a member of parliament, the help that he was giving to the youth in the area, some apprenticeship programs that he helped the young boys and girls to get enrolled into and all of that. So that is what really they point to back in 2016. But for now, they do not really point you to the specific things Mr. Jameson is doing in that particular constituency.
Let me bring back Winston. And Winston, so thoughts here going forward. Very interesting race, definitely. Conclude by telling me what your predictions are. Give me your projection.
So, Evans, I like the famous statement, feelings that are formed by emotions cannot be dislodged by mere reasoning when it comes to politics. And so those feelings that will be formed by emotions cannot simply be dislodged by mere reasoning. I think this election is for Mrs. Hayford.
Very interesting. Straight to the point. Kojo, you will be last because you are the man who is feeling the F there. Blay, what's yours?
I think the sympathy vote gives Ophelia Hayford the upper hand, but if Jameson works very hard, but it will be very difficult for him to win the seat.
What's that? What have you said?
I'm telling you that.
I'm listening.
The sympathy vote gives Mrs. Hayford the upper hand.
Okay.
But
so she's more likely to win.
She's in the lead as we speak now.
Okay.
But on December 7, it depends on what people will be thinking about. She'll still go in a black cloth. She'll look sad. And
yeah. Before you go, we need to talk about that black cloth thing, right?
It's actually a video of her, and they were playing this slow, sad gospel song.
Yeah.
And you should see her. She stood on a podium. She held her arms. She looked sad, and she was being held, and people were all around. And I hear a story that they were moving around on a campaign, and a woman actually stopped the vehicle and said that, I mean, so that's
a story of her. The party took her around in sort of a campaign tour, right?
Yeah.
And then an old woman, I understand, stopped the vehicle. Says she wants to talk to her, and she thinks that they open the vehicle for her, and she goes and says, I mean, which to where will vote for you to console you. I said, yeah. But from that video that we saw, Joseph, it's clear that she's very she knows she's. I don't want you to exploit it. She's deliberately leveraging the sympathy.
The fact of the matter is that if not for the death of the husband, I don't think the party would be considering her as a candidate for them. I mean, you understand what I'm saying? And so it's because of that situation, unfortunate situation, that has brought her into the limelight in this manner. And it will obviously, per what has happened in times past, it will be a significant way they'll be seeking to win the elections. And so, I mean, let's see how it goes. But it will be a keen race. It's an interesting constituency. It's difficult to tell who wins.
Okay. Kojo, are you still there?
I'm still here, Evan.
Okay, let's take Winston's line off. I think Winston is gone off, so we could hear Kojo Nyako's prediction. Kojo, give me your projection.
Okay, Evan, so it is not for nothing that the funeral arrangement have been placed on the 27th, 28th, 29th. I mean, people say that it's a grand scheme to whip up sentiment, emotions, and then let the emotions lead the way. But the woman is working. The party indicates that they are throwing their support. They are using all the arsenals, all the resources they have. The resources they would have used to support the husband, they are going to throw everything behind the woman to win. But that said, the son is not doing in the constituency. Remember, this constituency is an NDC stronghold. They won 5 out of the 7 contests we've had already. And so I am not writing Mr. James a son off. My prediction is that it is too close to call. It could be anybody's name, despite the sympathy vote that would also be at play.
Okay, thank you very much, Kojo. And the thing I like about being the anchor is that you get not to opine, and so I don't have a view on this matter to project. But Joseph is joining me with the news at 9, and he says he has a projection himself. Joseph?
Well, it's still anyone's game. You see, but the interesting bit is that it worked for Linda Oklu in Chai Sudoku.
Yeah.
It worked for Lydia Serama.
Not yet. She's yet to go to the national election.
Well, I'm actually referring to the 2016 polls, by the way.
Okay.
And then the by-election in Ayawaso as well. It worked for Lydia Serama Hassan. Some have even thrown in the bed that it worked for John Mahama in 2016. The sympathy vote, you mean, as a result of the death of a very loved one who was rather on the ticket. It most likely may work for her, but we wait to see how things.
Oh goodness, you haven't said anything. But anyway, I'm delighted that you mustered the courage to say something. But that's it for Battleground tonight. Next week we are in Fomina. Yes.
That will be an interesting one.
That will be an interesting one.
The independent candidate who is leaving the ticket of the NPP is already predicting a 70% win for himself, because this time around he's being backed not only by NPP supporters but by the whole constituency. We wait to see how that pans out.
Joseph, you are on Battleground next week. Enjoy the rest of your evening. News is up next.
You're welcome to Joy Headline News at 9. My name is Joseph Opohugapo. The NDC National Vice Chairman Alhaji Sinari is still the subject of a criminal probe for allegedly supplying guns to an NDC executive to intimidate NPP voters in the northern region. Alhaji Sinari was interrogated for hours at the Accra Regional Police Headquarters today, after which he was arrested and charged with conspiracy to commit crime towards possession of firearms without authority. But a Kaneshie District Court today heard the case, before which the police indicated that they were dropping the charges against him. A member of Mr. Sirani's legal team, Alhaji Brahma Balba, has been speaking to Joy News.
As you know, the facts are very clear. Alhaji is not in possession of any of those arms. It was somebody who brought them to the police, and so it would be absurd to parade Alhaji before the court and charge him for possession, when indeed there were no guns before him. However, there were 2 guns that were shown to Alhaji. There was an AK-47 and then a pump-action gun. Alhaji had already reported of the loss of his pump-action gun. He reported that to the Cantonment Police Station. That gun is licensed. That pump-action gun belongs to him. He has licensed it. He has renewed the license. But the AK-47, the police need to find out from the other guy how he got it.
Abraham Malba is lawyer for Alhaji Sinari. Mr. Sinari had allegedly been reported to the police by an NDC constituency chairman in Ayawaso North, Tahiru Ahmed. Tahiru has since been suspended from the NDC. I'm not leaving Parliament. That is the declaration of the Member of Parliament for Fomena, Andrew Mfantseman, despite a request by the New Patriotic Party to the Speaker for him to be kicked out. NPP General Secretary John Buedu says the party has asked the Speaker to declare the seats vacant after the MP was sacked over his decision to run as an independent candidate. Mr. Siama tells Joy News no official communication on his removal from Parliament has come to his notice, and he remains a member of the majority side.
Well, they are saying they have dismissed me, but I am telling you I'm winning for the party. You see, you people, you media men, I've had a lot of discussion about this particular issue. Please, let me have a bit of my peace. Let me say one thing. Let me say one thing. What I can assure you is that I will be part of the 8th Parliament. That is what is important.
They've asked that from the 7th Parliament, you'll be taken out by virtue of the fact that the
today you see me. Yes, you see me. I'm in Parliament. I'm just walking out from the chamber.
You heard the Member of Parliament for Fomena, Andrew Mokosiama there. A committee to look into the possible restoration of garlands compulsorily taken by the states will start work next year. Among others, the committee will determine the consequences of the restoration and make recommendations to the government. The return of the lands to its allodial owners has been a long battle between the Gas State and successive governments. Addressing the Greater Accra Regional House of Chiefs as part of his tour of the region, President Akufo-Addo tasked the Chieftaincy Minister to begin the processes to bring finality to the issue.
Let me also indicate to you my commitment to establishing a committee, God willing, early next year, to take a comprehensive look at the issue to do with the compulsory acquisition of lands by government, its consequences, and the possible restoration of land to their allodial owner. The committee will make appropriate recommendations for the decision of government.
You heard President Akufo-Addo there. And finally, disqualified independent presidential aspirant Kofi Cranton says he will take legal action against the Electoral Commission to seek redress following his disqualification by the Commission. Mr. Cranton's hopes of contesting the 2020 presidential elections were cut short after the EC accused him of forging signatures on his nomination forms. He is denying those claims. Mr. Cranton has today been addressing a news conference in Accra, and he is asking the Electoral Commission to give him the same opportunity that was given to his competitors to correct the errors on the form. On that note, we enjoy headlines at 9.
Charlie, I forget I go rent generator. Bro, hold my ABC. I go sort you. Kiddo, you be lifesaver.
More times, time could throw you problems, but there always could be someone who could show up for you. Your true buddy. And nothing can be true friendship like enjoying an ABC Golden Lager beer together. ABC, Ghana's legendary golden beer. Now available nationwide. Drink responsibly. Not for sale to persons under 18. Not recommended for pregnant women. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Accidents do happen. It could be a motor accident, a sudden heart attack, or even a stroke, or any other health emergency. The first steps you take are very critical. Should you be involved in or witness an accident, call 112 for the fastest ambulance response. With over 300 well-equipped ambulances all over Ghana, you are assured of the fastest response to your emergency calls. Call 112 during critical health emergencies and save your life and that of your family and loved ones. 112, help will come. 112, we are safe. Avoid prank calls as they can lead to loss of life of persons in actual need of help. Be a responsible citizen.
Jerry Kong Pambediako used his power to win big with Bet Power. He started with 57 Ghana cedis and won 235,605 Ghana cedis and 33 pesos. Now he has a new land, a cocoa farm, and 2 minibuses. Grab your power to win big with the new 500% win bonus at betpower.com.gh. That's betpawa.com.gh. Bet responsibly, 18+. Bet Power is regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana.
Hi there. Let me introduce you to the Hele Africa COVID-19 SED Challenge. The SED Challenge is a global corporate social media campaign set to create an edutainment dynamic drive to complement the distinct strides made by all stakeholders across the globe in the fight against the COVID-19 pandemic. SED is an acronym. S, say no to stigmatization and discrimination. C, celebrate COVID-19 survivors. E, empower the COVID-19 frontline workers. D, demonstrate the preventive protocols and donate to support the fight against the pandemic and the aftermath management of the recovered COVID-19 survivors. This initiative is dynamically designed to set a distinct, productive, all-inclusive medium to empower all entities who are noted as relevant partakers in the fight against the COVID-19 pandemic. They're seeking to achieve the said goal. To participate in the said challenge, kindly observe the following steps. 1. Download the said app. 2. Record your video with the app. 3. Playback to confirm if your video appears exactly how you intended it to be. 4. Submit your video to the official portal. 5. Wait for your reference code. Follow our various social media handles at Hele Africa and tag the friends you have challenged in the video. Also subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like and share our page to stand a chance of becoming the said challenge ambassador. You can donate silently to any of our accounts. MTN +233 59 631 4499. Merchant ID code 424279. So visit www.heleafrica.org for more information. The Hele Africa Said Challenge is brought to you in association with Prime Partners, Ghana Red Cross Society, empowered by Media Men. Hele COVID-19 Said Challenge, uniting the world against a common enemy.
Accidents do happen. It could be a motor accident, a sudden heart attack, or even a stroke, or any other health emergency. The first steps you take are very critical. Should you be involved in or witness an accident, call 112 for the fastest ambulance response. With over 300 well-equipped ambulances all over Ghana, you are assured of the fastest response to your emergency calls. Call 112 during critical health emergencies and save your life and that of your family and loved ones. 112, help will come. 112, we are safe. Avoid prank calls as they can lead to loss of life of persons in actual need of help. Be a responsible citizen.
If we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change.
Winning strategies, nuggets of wisdom, unforgettable stories, all in one inspirational hour. Springboard your virtual university with Albert and Comfort Okran and guests.
Planning is bringing the future into the present.
A job is for the salary, is mundane, is survival oriented, and there's no passion. But a career has fulfillment, innovation, drive. A growth path is clear, and you can build step by step all the way to the top.
Matriculate at 7 p.m. and graduate at 8 p.m. every Sunday on Joy 99.7 FM and live on Facebook. Springboard is brought to you by Legacy and Legacy and Joy 99.7 FM and proudly sponsored by MTN, Enterprise Group, UMB Bank, and Axis Pension Trust with support from the graphic business.
It's the Vintage Music Show on Joy 99.7 FM. Vintage Music Show on Joy 99.7 FM.
And all these things were yours, and they were mine. You're listening to pure, unforgettable music on the Vintage Music Show with Ken.
for me. Nobody but me. Forever and ever. You stay in my heart and I will love you forever and ever. We never will part. Oh, how love you together. That's how it must be to live without you. Would only be heartbreak for me. My darling, believe me. For me there is no one but you. Please love me true. I'm in love with you. Answer my prayer. Answer my prayer, babe. Answer my prayer. Say you love me too. Answer my prayer. Answer my prayer, babe. Answer my prayer. Yeah. Forever and ever. You stay in my heart and I will love you forever and ever. We never will part. Oh, how I love you together. That's how it must be to live without you. Would only be heartbreak for me. Nobody but me. My darling, believe me. For me there is no one but you. Please love me true. This is my prayer. Answer my prayer now, baby. Answer my prayer. This is my prayer. Answer my prayer. Answer it right now, baby. Answer my prayer. Baby, love me too. Answer my prayer. This is my prayer, baby. Answer my prayer. Baby, I'm in love with you.
Hot, and bad.
Understand
The station is Joy 99.7. It's a Thursday evening. Good evening and welcome to the Vintage Music Show. My name is Ken. Glad to be here with you. Just gone by was Evans Mensah with Battleground. Thought I was coming to meet Emefa Apau. I came to meet Evans Mensah, the Manchester United guy. Emefa, wherever you are, very good evening to you. Battleground will be back next week, same time, 8 p.m. till 9. The Vintage Music Show, Thursday evenings, 9 p.m. till 10. And then after headline news at 10, at Soul Serenade till midnight. In the background, music from Soul Brother number 1, the late James Brown. Papa don't take no mess. Good evening, Postal Hayes. Before that was Aretha Franklin with I Say a Little Prayer. We had Dancing Queen from ABBA. The Archies with Sugar Sugar. Candida from the group Dawn. King Floyd with Groove Me. And we kicked off the show this evening with music from Paul McCartney and Wings with Love is Strange. A very happy birthday to a regular listener of this show, Nana Kofi down in Tema. Hey Nana, thank you for always tuning in. Hope you had a good day. God richly bless you. Also, a very happy birthday to a young man in Swedru, Ernest Amable. Happy birthday to you, Ernest. This comes from your dad, Felix in Georgia. Felix, I just saw your message. Couldn't bring the track you wanted. But happy birthday to you anyways, Ernest. Have a good evening. Don't forget Vastai Jackson happening at Plus 233 Jazz Bar and Grill this Saturday, the 31st of October. World-renowned actor, composer, producer, blues guitarist Vastai Jackson happening at Plus 233 Jazz Bar and Grill this Saturday. Make an effort and just pass by, and you'll enjoy the scenery. I'd like to dedicate this track to Mr. Franklin Benner. Thank you for the parcel, Franklin. God richly bless you.
Wondering, oh so long.
That's music from the one and only Jimmy Cliff. My love is as solid as a rock. Before that was the late Johnny Nash, and I Can See Clearly Now. And we had Jimmy Cliff once again with My People. Good evening to my air-conditioned technician boogieing in the studio here this evening. I'd like to say hi to my sis Ann Sechi. Hey Ann, long time no here. Glad to know you're cool. Also to Zina Agbeke. Wherever you are, Zina.
Something's telling me I must go home.
Hi to my brother Kwame Obing and family. Kwame, say hi to the ladies, yeah? I'd like to dedicate this to the one and only Ochiami Akufu of Tutu Akwapim. Chami, was nice seeing you today. Enjoy this one.
Telling me I must go home. And the lights all went down in Massachusetts the day I left her standing on her own. Trying to get your eyes to San that this must be heaven. How could so much love be inside of you? Oh, you are the sunshine of my life, yeah. Why I'll always stay around. You are the apple of my eye. Forever you stay my heart. Yeah, you are the sunshine of my life, baby.
This is pure, unforgettable music on the Vintage Music Show with Ken.
There'll be no strings to bind your hand, not if my love can bind your heart. And there's no need to take a stand, for it was I who chose to start. I see no reason to take me home. I'm old enough to face the dawn. Just call me angel of the morning, angel. Just touch my cheek before you leave me, baby. Just call me angel of the morning, angel. Then slowly turn away from me. Maybe the sun's light will be dim, and it won't matter anyhow. If morning's echo says we've sinned, well, it was what I wanted now. And if we're victims of the night, I won't be blinded by the light. Just call me angel of the morning, angel. Just touch my cheek before you leave me, baby. Just call me angel of the morning, angel. Then slowly turn away. I won't beg you to stay with me. Through the tears of the age of the years. Baby, baby, just call me angel of the morning, angel. Just touch my cheek,
That's music from Crystal Gale. Just call me Angel of the Morning.
just call me angel of the morning.
Before that was Stevie Wonder with You Are the Sunshine of My Life. And we had the Bee Gees with The Lights Went Out in Massachusetts. It's been the Vintage Music Show from Joy 99.7. It's on every Thursday evening, 9 p.m. till 10. Good evening, Bessa Simons, Musica President. Bessa, nice to know you're tuned in. Also, hi to the platoon commander himself, Moses Daute. Headline news on next, and then we shall have Soul Serenade till midnight. Thanks for listening. Stay on.
And if you would let them hold you, oh, how grateful I will be. These arms of mine, they are burning
You're welcome to Joy Headline News at 10. My name is Joseph Opohugapo. Member of Parliament for Fomena, Andrew Mfantseman, says he's not leaving the 7th Parliament despite a request by the New Patriotic Party to the Speaker for him to be kicked out. NPP General Secretary John Boadu says the party has asked the Speaker to declare the seat vacant after the MP was sacked over his decision to run as an independent candidate in the upcoming election. Mr. Siama tells Joy News no official communication on his removal from Parliament has come to his notice and he remains a member of the majority side.
Well, they are saying they have dismissed me, but I am telling you I'm winning for the party. You see, you people, you media men, I've had a lot of discussion about this particular issue. Please, let me have a bit of my peace. Let me say one thing. Let me say one thing. What I can assure you is that I will be part of the 8th Parliament. That is what is important.
They've added that from the 7th Parliament, you'll be taken out by virtue of the fact that the
today you see me.
Yes,
you see me. I'm in Parliament. I'm just walking out from the chamber. I'm part of.
But what do you make of the demand they're asking that the Speaker gets you out of the 7th Parliament?
Please. What I'm saying, I am still part of Parliament.
Do you think they have a legal basis?
I'm not going to discuss that because no letter or documentation has been given to me to that effect. So I don't need to discuss anything, probably speculatively.
You have the Member of Parliament for the Fomena constituency, Andrew Mfantseman. The NDC National Vice Chairman, Alhaji Said Sinari, is still a subject of a criminal probe for allegedly supplying guns to an NDC constituency executive to intimidate NPP voters in the northern region. This is despite a decision by the police to drop charges against him. Alhaji Sinari was interrogated for hours at the Accra Regional Police Headquarters, arrested and then charged with conspiracy to commit crime to wit, possession of firearms without authority. But the case was dropped after he was taken to the Kaneshi Magistrate Court. A member of Mr. Sirani's legal team, Abraham Malba, has been speaking to Joy News.
As you know, the facts are very clear. Alaji is not in possession of any of those arms. It was somebody who brought them to the police. And so it would be absurd to parade Alaji before the court and charge him for possession, when indeed there were no guns before him. However, there were 2 guns that were shown to Alaji. There was an AK-47 and then a pump-action gun. Alaji had already reported of the loss of his pump-action gun. He reported that to the Cantonment's police station. That gun is licensed. That pump-action gun belongs to him. He has licensed it. He has renewed the license. But the AK-47, the police need to find out from the other guy how he got it.
Mr. Sinare had allegedly been reported to the police by the NDC constituency chairman for the Ayawaso North constituency, Tahiru Mohammed. Mr. Tahiru has since been suspended from the party. A committee to look into possible restoration of Garland's compulsorily taken by the state will start work next year. Among others, the committee will determine the consequences of the restoration and make recommendations to government. The return of the lands to its allodial owners has been a long battle between the Gas State and successive governments. Addressing the Greater Accra Regional House of Chiefs as part of a tour of the region, President Akufo-Addo tasked the Chieftaincy Minister to begin the process to bring finality to the issue.
Let me also indicate to you my commitment to establishing a committee, God willing, early next year, to take a comprehensive look at the issue to do with the compulsory acquisition of lands by government, its consequences, and the possible restoration of land to their allodial owner. The committee will make appropriate recommendations for the decision of government.
You heard President Akufo-Addo there. And finally, on the foreign scene, 3 people have died in a knife attack at a church in Nice in what French President Emmanuel Macron has said was an Islamist terrorist attack. He said France would not surrender its core values after visiting the site of the attack. An extra 4,000 troops are being deployed to protect churches and schools. In Nice, one elderly victim was virtually beheaded, officials said. Another woman and a man had also died. A male suspect was shot and detained. Anti-terror prosecutors have opened an investigation into the attack, and France has raised its national security alert to its highest level. The French anti-terrorist prosecutor later said the attacker was seriously wounded. Mr. Ricard said the suspect was a 21-year-old Tunisian national who had arrived in France earlier this month. He had a document issued by the Italian Red Cross. On that note, we end our final bulletin for the day. We are back tomorrow morning at 6 with another edition. But for now, good night.
Charlie, I forget I go rent generator.
Bro, hold my ABC. I go sort you.
Kiddo, you be lifesaver.
More times, life will throw you problems, but there always could be someone who could show up for you. Your true buddy. And nothing can beat true friendship like enjoying an ABC Golden Lager beer together. ABC, Ghana's legendary golden beer. Now available nationwide. Drink responsibly. Not for sale to persons under 18. Not recommended for pregnant women. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Jerry Kong from Bediako used his power to win big with Bet Power. He started with 57 Ghana cedis and won 235,605 Ghana cedis and 33 pesos. Now he has a new land, a cocoa farm, and 2 minibuses. Grab your power to win big with the new 500% win bonus at betpower.com.gh. That's betpawa.com.gh. Bet responsibly, 18 plus. Bet Power is regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana.
Home is where the heart is, and you deserve to make it beautiful. Whatever your dream home, there's a right option for you at the 11th Joy News Habitat Fair in partnership with EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank. This one-stop shop fair will answer all your questions, be it mortgage financing or land acquisition and furnishing. Join us at the Accra International Conference Center for the 11th edition of the EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair from Friday, November 6th to Sunday, November 8th from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. daily. The fair is under the theme Affordable Housing, Beyond the Rhetoric. There will be virtual webinars during the fair on our social media platforms as we seek credible solutions to our housing problems. Remember to observe all COVID-19 safety protocols when visiting the fairgrounds and follow us on our social media platforms with the hashtag Joy Habitat Fair. For participation or inquiries, call us on 054-690-8179 or 024-434-0431. The EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair is brought to you by EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank, and sponsored by GHB Properties. Experience affordable luxury. DBS Roofing Papa Perfie, Duraplast Limited, manufacturers of high-quality UPVC and HDPE pipes, fittings, and rotational molded products. Where Duraplast goes, water flows. The Plant City Extension Project, rent to own at Joy News Habitat Fair. Everything housing.
If we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change.
Winning strategies, nuggets of wisdom, unforgettable stories, all in one inspirational hour. Springboard your virtual university with Albert and Comfort Okran and guests.
Planning is bringing the future into the present.
A job is for the salaries, mundane, survival-oriented, and there's no passion. But a career has fulfillment, innovation, drive. A growth path is clear, and you can build step by step all the way to the top.
Matriculate at 7 p.m. and graduate at 8 p.m. every Sunday on Joy 99.7 FM and live on Facebook. Springboard is brought to you by Legacy and Joy 99.7 FM and proudly sponsored by MTN, Enterprise Group, UMB Bank, and Axis Pension Trust with support from the graphic business.
Roverman Productions presents Mr. Smooth, a radio play written by Uncle White.
Monday to Friday, Mr. Smooth.
Look, here inside this envelope is 1,000 Ghana cedis. Okay, go and give it to her for me, eh?
Oh, yes, no problem. But boss, small issue day. Last time I go there, you say, make I tell you, see, it be the body edifice you won't see.
Oh.
No, but the money.
Me too, I want the body. I want the edifice.
Oh.
I want the buntu. My wife, she keeps me under strict surveillance.
When you want to see Julie this evening?
Hey, Julie, what do you say?
boom like that.
So how you mention him?
Jolene. Close your eyes small as you're saying it.
To catch Mr. Smooth, tune into the Overdrive on Joy 99.7 FM after the 8 p.m. news on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays with a full episode repeated every Sunday from 1:30 p.m. Don't miss out.
Monday to Friday, from Orange to Frida. I don't get time for complaint.
I don't feel very that
Charlie, I forget I go rent generator.
Bro, hold my ABC. I go sort you.
Kido, you be lifesaver.
More times, life will throw you problems, but there always could be someone who could show up for you. The true buddy. And nothing can beat true friendship like enjoying an ABC Golden Lager beer together. ABC, Ghana's legendary golden beer. Now available nationwide. Drink responsibly. Not for sale to persons under 18. Not recommended for pregnant women. This advertisement has been cited and approved by the FDA.
Jerry Kong Pambediako used his power to win big with Bet Power. He started with 57 Ghana cedis and won 235,605 Ghana cedis and 33 pesos. Now he has a new land, a cocoa farm, and 2 minibuses. Grab your power to win big with the new 500% win bonus at betpower.com.gh. That's betpawa.com.gh. Bet responsibly, 18 plus. Bet Power is regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana.
Whatever it is, this is the only moment. Let's make the most of it.
How does it feel? How does it feel after ruining your friend's marriage?
Do you even know what a woman of your type is called as? Huh? If you missed the love, betrayal, pain, and deceits of the love story of Molly and Kunal
yes.
in the groundbreaking telenovela Love Will Never Lie, then catch up with us every weekday at 6 p.m. for the most exciting affection story, Love Will Never Lie, only on Joy Prime.
Joy Prime, real entertainment.
Business like the world evolves every day, from the tangible to the digital, from the farm to the stock market, from ideas to legacies. This is Business Connect.
Business Connect shows Mondays at 9 p.m. only on Joy Prime.
Joy Prime, real entertainment.
Ajwa, where are all those crates of club your husband and his friends buy? I know they don't play with their club.
Oh, Ken, he will be holding a bottle of club on his last day. You know these faithfuls with their beer.
Ajwa, pay attention.
But why are you whispering?
So how many crates do you have in the house now? Like 10?
Oh, 10. That's just in the kitchen. Maybe another 10 or 20 in the backyard.
Hey, Ajwa, we are going to be rich. I'm coming with a van.
Yes, Charlie. Return empty crates of Club Large, Mini, or Shandy Large to any Club Tea distributor or ABO factory and get 20 Ghana cedis for each crate of empty bottles. Return to earn now. Pickup option available for 70 plus crates. Call 0501-685-896 for more details. Terms and conditions apply. Drink responsibly. Not for sale to persons below 18 years of age. Not recommended for pregnant women. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Jerry Kong Pambediako used his power to win big with Bet Power. He started with 57 Ghana cedis and won 235,605 Ghana cedis and 33 pesos. Now he has a new land, a cocoa farm, and 2 minibuses. Grab your power to win big with the new 500% win bonus at betpower.com.gh. That's betpawa.com.gh. Bet responsibly, 18 plus. Bet Power is regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana.
At a cost of 15 pesos per message, subscribe and text JF to 8787 to receive SMS news alerts, business, sports and entertainment updates from Joy FM, My Joy Online, and Joy News, your most credible news source.
Every headline of every story of every bulletin only leaves us with questions. But you know what? Just as day must lead to night, questions must lead to answers. So after a day full of headlines, Joy Prime brings you the names, the faces, and the voices behind the key stories to face the big questions and give the real answers. On the Record with me, Daniel Daze.
On the Record, starting Monday, 19th October 2020 at 8 p.m. on Joy Prime.
Everywhere you turn, there's a mother, a father, a sister, or a brother who has been affected by breast cancer.
No one is immune to breast cancer, neither old nor young, rich or poor, weak or strong.
Hope is the bridge that connects cancer and recovery. Don't give up your courage to fight.
Fighting breast cancer takes everyone. One team, one dream. Let's find a cure.
It's real. It's not a myth. 1 in 8 women and 1 in 1,000 men will develop breast cancer at some point in their lives.
Get screened. Early detection saves lives. Check often and encourage those you love to do same.
Knowing it exists isn't enough. Get informed. Pass it on.
Exercise is also beneficial to breast cancer survivors.
Pink is stronger than you think. Join the hashtag PinkOctober.
This October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month on Joy FM. Join us on the Cosmopolitan Mix for Pink October. I am Doreen Nando.
The discerning ear in the period of radio bring lots of cheer in sweet, sweet stereo. Oh boy, boy, oh boy, that must surely be joy. That is great joy, joy.
99.7.
That is great joy, great joy.
Serenading you like nobody can. Joy 99.7 FM.
When you're all alone, ain't He throws her kisses, she shares his wishes. I'm sure he's king, without a doubt. With love so captive, so sorely captive, I asked if I could play the part. Alma, pure and simple, born in a world where love survives. Now men will want her, 'cause life don't haunt her. Alma, you lucky, lucky thing. Alma, you lucky, lucky thing. Alma, you lucky, lucky thing.
Hi, my name is Kaylee, and you're listening to Jazz Serenade with Ken.
I've been around this world, I've been a lot of places, seen a million faces in 1,000 times. But when I looked into your eyes, I knew I found heaven. And I've been wanting to tell you, I never want to let you go. It may be winter and heat out, but what I'm feeling is summer in my heart. Is it too familiar to say I love you? Would you be suspicious if I asked your name? Yeah. What would it take to really convince you that I'm gonna love you, even if my heart would break? I think a better day, I can feel it coming. I can hear it falling in the rain tonight. 'Cause you turned this man into a true believer when you left your traces on that moonlit night. It may be winter heater, but when I'm with you, it's summer in my heart. Would you be suspicious if I asked your name? Tell me, what would it take to really convince you that I'm gonna love you, even if my heart was break? It won't bother me. Let the stars go out tonight, 'cause I can see them in your eyes. And I'm gonna love you, even if my heart would break. If my heart is too real to say I love you,
like nobody can. Joy 99.7 FM.